Howdy y'all, welcome to Git for the Intimidated Part 3. Today I'm going to talk about installing Git, and then tomorrow I'm going to talk about using Git locally. But don't hold me to that, guys. Still haven't written the full curriculum for the screencast series, but I think that's what I'm going to do using Git locally. Still not sure. It'll be a surprise. Get ready for a surprise. Okay, but today I'm going to talk about installing Git. I want to make this really short, and I don't want to get too far into the complexities of installing Git because really, installing Git is like installing most programs. There's a few quirks you need to know. The first quirk I want to note is that if you've installed a web framework like Ruby on Rails, so if you went to like Rails installer and downloaded Ruby on Rails, you already have Git. So quit watching this and then, go enjoy your beautiful life. If you don't, then I'm going to go over the 3 ways you can get Git. So you have some options for getting Git. There's 3 of them I'm going to go over. The first one is the GUI client, the graphical user interface for Git. If you've seen my prior screencasts, you know I'm not a fan of using the GUI for Git. I want you to use the command line, so we're just going to ignore this guy right now. It exists. It's up to you to figure it out, son. The second thing I want to talk about is the hacker way of installing it. I'm dubbing it the hacker way. So if you go to the Git documentation book, section 1.4, getting started installing Git, there's a method of installing Git from source. So if you can do this, like if you know what you're doing, go for it. What you're going to do is you're going to put these commands into terminal plus probably like some other commands and then get Git that way. If your only exposure to the command line prior to this is my screencast, then this is not the way for you. But if you read Unix for the Beginning Mage cover to cover, and you want to read up on installing programs by compiling their source, then this could be a viable option. And I'm going to say it's like extra credit if you install this way. I'm not going to cover it, but if you do it this way, the experience will help you if you ever have issues installing a computer language like Ruby or a web framework like Ruby on Rails. I had a Ruby install that was a bit wonky, and I had to get a friend help me and compile like a new version of Ruby from source, and it was all messed up. But barring being a hacker and installing it from source, the best way to do it is to, let me just go back. When you go to git-scm.com, just hit this one right here, latest stable release, download for Mac, and it'll actually automatically start downloading. And it's just a pretty normal Mac package. So here it is on my desktop. Let me minimize my notes. Actually, I have 2 versions, so let me just trash one. And open it up. And there you go. And there's the package that you're going to install, just like installing almost any program for your Mac. And rather than me going through that again, let me just go through some screen caps for you. So when you double click on this thing, you get this thing, installing Git. Look at that. Then you get this one, writing files. Then you get this one, cleaning up. Then you get this one, the installation was successful. And it actually doesn't take like 14 minutes like this one shows right here, so don't worry. And yeah, that's it. Once you do that, you have Git installed in your computer. So what I'd like to do now is for us to go into Terminal. Hopefully you have Terminal on your dock already. If not, navigate to it in Finder and search for it there. And when it pops up, I want us to run the following command, and it doesn't matter where you are. As you remember from last time, you're always in a folder, but it doesn't matter in this case. I just want you to run which git, and so you'll get this output: user bin git, or it'll change depending on where your computer installed it. But yeah, it should be somewhere like this: user bin git. And if you're getting some output like that, that means you have Git installed in your computer. And which is actually a Unix command. And you can use it for a certain set of programs in your computers. Like you couldn't do which pages. It's not going to tell you where pages is installed in your computer. But if you have a text editor like Sublime and you have an alias for it, which is a little advanced, it'll work. If you have a version of the Ruby programming language in your computer, which will tell you where that program is installed, where Ruby is installed. And if you have which Rails, it'll tell you that. And really, I say it tells you where it's installed. Really, it's like telling you the path that it executes to like run the command of Rails or Ruby or Pages. It's a little semantic blah blah. I just say where it's installed because that's like where it's going to find it. So yeah, the which command is pretty handy. So something to keep in mind, you won't use it all that often, basically to verify programs are working. So Command K out of that, and then I want you to type another command, git -- version. Hooray, our first git command. So if you're getting output like this, git version and then some version number, you're good. Git is on your computer. And then let me talk about the -- version real quick. Almost any program you can kind of run a -- version. It's like Ruby -- version. Tells you what version of Ruby I am. Does it work with Sublime? Yeah, cool. Tells me what version of Sublime I have. So -- version is kind of a universal command to just like say, hey, what numerical version of the program I'm using. Command K out of that. What I want us to finally do to close out the screencast is just navigate to desktop. So wherever you started doing ls and see where you are. And hey, look, I can just go, I can cd straight, there it is, desktop. I can cd straight into desktop. So I'm going to cd into desktop. And then I'm going to use the command make directory. And I'm going to call this first git folder. And cool, it popped up there. And then I'm going to cd into that. And let me command K to clean out this screen. So we're in first git folder right now. And it's empty because we just made it. So of course ls produces nothing. And let's type the command git init. And cool, initialized empty git repository and users Renish desktop first git folder. So cool, if you type git init and you're getting output just like that, initialized empty git repository, that's our third and final check that you're in business, Git's on your computer, you're ready to roll. And next time we'll talk about more about what that means, and we'll use that locally. Like we'll do some local Git repository stuff. Maybe, don't hold it to me, guys. So yeah, that's it. Once you've done those checks, you've installed Git. If you have any questions, hit me up at www.renish.com or email me at renish@gmail.com. That's RONEESH. Later, players. Happy coding. Hasta la vista. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know what I'm saying. Good luck, everyone. Hit me up with any questions. Love to talk to you.